Hey, Scribe Sarah here, and welcome to the Right Podcast. I'm so glad you're here and spending this time with me. Because you are here, that tells me that you're a writer. Whether you're dreaming of becoming one, or you've just started penning your first novel, or maybe you've already written and published a dozen novels, you are a writer and you're in the right place. This show was made for you, my friend. I want to begin today's episode by letting you into a moment that really moved me, not just as a mum, but as a writer and as a woman navigating change and growth right alongside you. It's personal, it's tender, and if you've ever questioned whether you've missed your chance to be a writer, I hope this lands softly on your heart. Last weekend, I stood on the campus at a university open day with my son Joshua. Now, he's the oldest of my 4 children, and next year he'll be heading off to chase his dreams. What makes this even more special is that Josh will be the very first in our family on either side to go to university. As we walked to the halls and met lecturers and watched bright-eyed students excitedly explore their options, I felt so many emotions. Pride, of course, but also something I didn't expect: inspiration. I looked around and saw possibility everywhere. These students weren't afraid of not having it all figured out. They were ready to leap, even if they didn't know where they'd land. And something about that energy, so fresh, so alive, made me stop and think, why do we, as adults, stop giving ourselves the same grace? Why do we act like we're too late, like our time has passed? We're not, and it hasn't. Today's episode is your gentle reminder, your permission slip, really, that it is never too late to begin again, to say yes to your writing dreams. Whether you've never started, or you've tried and failed, or you've simply drifted away, I want you to know you can return, you can pick up the pen, and this time maybe it's different. Let me tell you what I've learned, heart to heart. I've paused my writing more times than I can count. During the early years of motherhood, when I was up to my ears in nappies and laundry and sheer exhaustion, writing felt like a distant dream. Some days I would scribble a few lines, and other days nothing. Whole seasons passed in silence. And yet, every time I returned to the page, it welcomed me. My creativity hadn't vanished. It had just been waiting for me to come back when I was ready. So if you've been away from your writing, maybe even for years, I want you to know there's no shame in that. Life happens, but your voice is still there. Your imagination hasn't expired. You can begin again, and that beginning can be even more powerful than the first time. I can't count how many writers I've coached who have said, I just don't think it's the right time. And believe me, I've said that too. But watching Josh walk into that open day with excitement and not a shred of certainty, it reminded me that beginnings don't wait for perfect timing. They happen when we decide to begin. You might have bills to pay, kids to feed, a day job that drains you. But if the story is in you, it will keep tapping on your heart. And you don't need a perfect calendar to answer it. You just need to say yes, and then keep saying yes in small, doable ways. Those young students I saw, they're incredible, but they haven't walked through heartbreak or raised a family or built resilience the way you have. Your life experience is not a delay. It's a treasure chest of material. Your characters will be richer, your themes more grounded, your voice more resonant. Your lived experience is your superpower. I didn't write my best stories until I had lived more, loved more, lost more. Every moment you've lived has shaped your ability to write stories that truly connect, and that's something no amount of youth or speed can replace. This episode is proudly sponsored by the Sunshine Coast Fiction Festival, one of the most exciting new events on the Australian literary calendar, and I'm thrilled to say I'm hosting it. Join myself and over 80 other authors and vendors for a 3-day festival of creative inspiration, community, and conversations at Venue 114 in Bocarina, just minutes from the beach and surrounded by the vibrant writing culture of the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. Whether you're a brand new writer dreaming up your first novel or an established author wanting to connect and learn and celebrate this wild creative life, we've got something for you. And bring all your bookish and reader friends too. The weekend is devoted to bookish fun and your chance to meet and chat with authors of all fiction genres, including romance, science fiction, fantasy, crime, and children's. There'll be workshops, panel discussions, author Q&As, and plenty of time to mingle and network and get inspired. You'll hear from some of the biggest names in fiction, including Stephanie Holmes, who's a USA Today best-selling author of dark, delicious fantasy. A.K. Mulford, a Sunshine Coast local who writes fantasy novels, rom-coms, and she's a BookTok star with a heart for magical stories. Rachel Johns is one of Australia's favourite authors of women's fiction and rural romance. Cadence Snow, she's beloved in the indie romance scene for her gripping and emotional stories. And T.L. Swan, queen of spicy international bestsellers with legions of devoted fans. And Candice Fox, award-winning crime writer and screenwriter whose thrillers you cannot put down. And of course, I'll be there too. Not just as your host, but with my own table at the signing, ready to chat, sign books, and cheer you on wherever you are in your writing journey. This is your chance to meet some of your favourite authors, connect with other passionate readers and writers, and soak up an atmosphere of creative energy that will stay with you long after the day ends. Tickets are already selling fast, and this is a 3-day event, so if you're thinking about coming, don't wait. The Sunshine Coast Fiction Festival is proudly sponsored by Serenade Publishing, the Queensland Writers Centre, the Sunshine Coast Libraries, and Baventi. Head to sunshinecoastfictionfestival.com.au to check out the full program and book your ticket now. I can't wait to see you there. Josh knows he wants to study science. When I asked him if he knew what kind of science he wanted to study, he smiled and said, "Not really, but I want to figure it out." And oh, how that struck me. As writers, we think we need to know exactly what we're doing before we start. But you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the next step. Let your curiosity guide you. What if you started with a single scene, a what if question, a character who won't leave you alone? That's enough. You don't need to know the whole plot. Just follow your fascination. The rest will come. Starting or restarting your writing journey is vulnerable. It asks you to be brave, to risk disappointment, to sit with uncertainty. But what's the alternative? Silence? Regret? A life where you never give yourself the chance to say what only you can say? Every book I've published began with fear, but behind that fear was hope. The hope that someone would read it and feel less alone, that someone would say, "This story helped me." You can't get there unless you say yes, even if it's messy, even if it's slow, even if you're afraid, say yes anyway. If this episode stirred something in you, if your heart whispered, "Maybe I can try again," I want you to follow that voice. You can start by heading over to serenadepublishing.com. That's where you can download the Brainstorming Fun Sheet. It's a free tool I created to help you gently and joyfully reawaken your ideas. And if you're ready to go deeper, check out the Fiction Writing Academy, my self-paced course designed to support writers just like you, no matter where you're starting from. It's affordable, flexible, and built to help you move forward with clarity and confidence. You don't need permission to be a writer, but just in case you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. I believe in you. Say yes. I'll see you next time.